What is up, family? I am here today because first things first. I had a conversation with someone a couple weeks ago, and this was a TikTok friend. I'm not going to say any names, but this person was telling me about a book that I should read, and I said I would read it. I wasn't gonna buy the book until like next week, sometime maybe. Um, so today I'm just getting home from the gym, right? I have a package at the door. It's a box, and inside the box sent four books. Four books. And this comes from that TikTok friend I'm telling y'all about. I truly, truly appreciate the gift. You know who you are. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. But so this is the book that this person recommended me to read. It's called Sexual Intelligence: What We Really Want from Sex and How to Get It, by Marty Klein. So I'm gonna be reading some of this book. This person also sent me Off with Her Head, 3,000 years of demonizing women in power. Ooh, y'all got some homework to do, ladies. The boys gonna be mad. They're gonna be mad. And she also sent me, wow, I seen this book. I wanted this book. This is crazy. Thank you so much. Um, Men Who Hate Women. From incels to pickup artists, the truth about extreme misogyny and how it affects us all. When I first read the word from incels to pickup artists, the first person came to my mind is Fresh and Fit. I don't know if y'all know who Fresh and Fit is. Them some cornball ass motherfuckers right there. But yeah, these is great. So these are a lot of self-help women books. And we also have Shifting, the double lives of black women in America. Man, I'm finna have a ball reading these books. So if y'all do want to follow along with some of these books, I'm sure you can find these on the TikTok shop. I know this is on the TikTok shop for sure. In this one, I do know these two are on the TikTok shop. Not sure about the other ones, but I'm sure they are. So take a second look. We got some homework to do, ladies. We got some homework. So I'm gonna read out of this one. I'm not gonna read a chapter. I'm just gonna look in it. Like this is crazy. Sexual intelligence. All right, so we have, okay, acknowledgments. I ain't gonna read no sexual intelligence. We gonna read the introduction. We gonna read the introduction. I usually don't read introductions like that, but this is an interesting title book, so I want to see what it's all about. Okay, the introduction. No wonder most people don't. Um, so I'm gonna ask some questions. There's some questions on the front that are true or false, and I'm gonna answer them. And y'all can follow along if y'all want. So, true or false? You can now buy vibrators, handcuffs, dildos, and anal beads on Amazon.com. True or false? I'm gonna say that's true. I'm gonna say that's true. I know some people that got some sex toys off of Amazon. Amazon be selling all the sex toys. So, two, 86% of American adults say they masturbate. 86%. I'm gonna say false. I think more. I don't know. I think more people masturbate more than 86% masturbate. I think this world is just so freaked the fuck out. Don't nobody know what the fuck they want anymore. They don't know if they want Palmer. They don't know if they want a man's ass. They don't know if they want a woman's ass or some pussy. They don't know what they want these days. I'm telling you, it's a lot of confused motherfuckers up in here. Okay, although millions of men get a prescription for Viagra, Cialis, and Levotra every year. I fuck the names of those medicines up. So please forgive me. Please forgive me. Every year, the number of men who renew their prescription is very low. I'm gonna say true. I'm gonna say true because I mean, don't nobody want to keep going back for prescription. I feel like the male ego is so fragile. They'll get some Viagra and they won't renew their prescription because they don't want the doctor or the pretty little nurse that they got to see at the front desk. They don't want the pretty little nurse to think that they're old and, so they don't refill their prescription because they're insecure. Insecure. That's one thing I notice about the male ego. It's so fragile. It is so fragile. So fragile. It's easy. It's to the point where sometimes their ego is so fragile. And I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not even talking about a specific person. But their ego is so fragile that you would purposely lose an argument just because winning is so important to them. A lot of them just want to win. So if that's all you want, winning ain't that important to me. Winning an argument ain't that important to me. So sometimes you just gotta act like you're just, I don't know, but yeah, y'all egos are fragile as hell, and don't nobody got time for that shit. But anyway, people into SM spanking, whipping. Oh, people into SM spanking, whipping, blindfolding, etc., are no more likely to come from abusive backgrounds than non-sex, whatever. I'm gonna go with true. I'm gonna go with true. I don't know. Let me reread that. People into SM, spanking, whipping, blindfolding, etc., are no more likely to come from abusive backgrounds than non-sex Mers. I don't know what the fuck that means. But anyway, many men of all ages don't ejaculate every time they have sex. And many women consider themselves a failure when this happens. I'm going to say true. I'm going to say true. So many men of all ages don't ejaculate every time they have sex. Yes, the fuck they do. Yes, they do. They ejaculate every time they have sex. That's a lie. Women don't get theirs every time unless it's with another woman. So I don't know. I think it's true. So many men of all ages don't ejaculate every time they have sex. That's false. That's false. But the second part, I would say true. And many women consider themselves failure when this happens. Yeah, me personally, I would definitely consider myself a failure if I didn't make my man come. Like, damn, is my cooter cat trash, bae? My cooter cat trash? Golly. Why it's taking 54 minutes? But anyway, in 2010, only 20% of a university student sample said that oral sex is sex. I'm going to go with true because I don't know, and this is too specific not to be true. Okay, is that it? Oh, that's not it. More money was spent on pornography in the United States last year than on tickets for all professional baseball, football, basketball, and hockey games combined. I would like to say false, but for some reason, that got to be true. That has got to be true. What the fuck? If this is true, like we're... Oh my God. I would like for that to be false, but it might be true. I'm going to read it one more time. More money was spent on pornography in the United States last year, 2024, than on tickets for all professional baseball, football, basketball, and hockey games combined. That is ridiculous. If that's the truth, that is ridiculous. Our fucking society is freaked the fuck out. And then you got these dudes always talking about you OnlyFans models, this and that. I could never take you serious, honey. Y'all are the ones spending the money on it. OnlyFans wouldn't exist if it wasn't for men. Men, y'all are spending y'all money on. Y'all making these women that y'all despise and that y'all talk about. Y'all making them millionaires because y'all too freaked out. Y'all too freaked out. Jeez, that's ridiculous. More than 1 million Americans went to a swingers club last year. I'm going to go with true. That's got all these fucking answers are true. I'm going to go with true. Because we got so many people in this world, and a lot of people are some freaky motherfuckers. Look at Diddy. It's way more than the people that dealt with Diddy. It's way more people in the world that's just some freaky motherfuckers. It is what it is. You know, being freaky is fun sometimes. Being freaky is fun. So I do not blame y'all. But eating shit and stuff like that, no. We ain't doing that. If you eat shit, you are fucking disgusting. And I know there's some people that probably get turned on by that nasty ass shit. Yuck. Okay. Half of all mass market paperbacks sold in the United States are romance novels. Last year, half of all American adult read at least one romance novel. Fuck. This is let me start that. Let me start that over. Half of all mass market paperbacks sold in the United States are romance novels. Probably. Last year, half of all American adults read at least one romance novel. The average reader of romance novels reads 50 per year. I'm gonna go with false. Too much of these answers were true, so I'm gonna go with false there. Most school sex education programs in the United States are not allowed to use the words clitoris or pleasure. I'm gonna go with true because it sounds too specific. I'm gonna go with true. And if that is true, why can't we use pleasure or clitoris? It's part of the vagina, the clitoris. That's the button that most dudes don't know how to find. But like, why, if that's the truth, why can't they say that? Because I know why. It all trickles down to controlling women. If we tell women that it's a pleasurable thing, then they're gonna think that they can use their body however they want. No, you can't. We are men. We control your bodies. No. See, they don't want us to know that we can pleasure ourselves if we want. I'm not encouraging nobody to just go fuck on anybody. I do not encourage that. Matter of fact, you need to protect yourself because the shit going on out here is diabolical. Did y'all see the HIV cases that in Atlanta? Look up Atlanta. Over 20,000 people got caught with HIV this year alone from the beginning of the year until August. Over 20,000 people in Atlanta got HIV or was diagnosed with that shit, or they found out they got that shit. So I can only imagine how many more people already got the shit in Atlanta or in Georgia, because it's a lot of counties in Georgia where the HIV rate is up there. It's up there. So, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Atlanta alone this year had like 19,500 or 19,800, if I'm not mistaken. But that is ridiculous. So I will never, if you from Atlanta or you live in Atlanta, don't ever try to inbox me. Don't talk to me. The answer is no. The answer is automatically no if you from Atlanta. I'm sorry. Anyway, so I'm gonna read okay, it's not too. Oh wow. Okay, so it said the answers to the quiz on page 1, each of the 10 statements is true. They're all true. So I was wondering, like, why is all these answers true? Like it was making sense that it was true, but I guess they were all true. So we're gonna read. I'm gonna read some of the introduction. Okay. Sex isn't just an activity. It's an idea. That kind of just hit me just now because um I've tried to in dating when I'm having sex, I've tried to talk to like my partners about like manifesting through sex and stuff like that. And they're just never that interested in what I want to and what I'm interested in. So I never got to do things like that because sometimes you would have to explain to them and most times when it comes to stuff like that, don't nobody want to hear that because they don't understand it. So I never really got to do that. So like intentionally have sex, set some intentions, and then we can manifest during through sex. You can definitely manifest through sex, and I've never got to intentionally do that. One day I will. But that's gonna be a while from now. That's gonna be a while from now. But anyway, hold on. For some reason, these glasses be making me not see well. But it's just part of my costume. It's just part of my costume. Okay. Our ideas. Okay. Shit. Our ideas about sex are so complicated that we make the activity complicated. I'm here to make both your ideas and your sexual activity less complicated. In my 30 plus years as a sex therapist and marriage counselor, this almost always makes sex easier, more enjoyable, and more enjoyable. In many cases, more frequent too. When we're young, sexual desire is driven by hormones, lust, hunger, novelty, and an urge to prove ourselves. Most of us are so horny. We desire the most profound and primitive fusion with our lust object. If only we could unzip our torso and he or she could climb right in. We're told that eventually desire will be driven not by hormones, but by love. We plan to feel one day. You're so great. You're so perfect for me. I want you. And eventually, most of us do fall in love. We we idolize we idolize our partner, and typically we're horny for him or her. Yes, the more me personally, the more I catch feelings for a person, the more I become horny. Like I can't look like the thing. I don't think this is normal for women, but I'm only going to speak for myself. When I look at somebody that may be attractive, I don't never want to fuck them. Like, oh my god, he's so fine. I fuck this shit. That is not normal to me. Like, why do my pussy get wet because somebody look cute? No. It's always been I had to get to know somebody. So that's what yeah, like I said, I don't think women operate that way. Just by looking at somebody and wanting to fuck them. Some women probably do. I've heard women say, "Ooh, he's so fine, I'll fuck the shit out of him." But I just don't think that's normal. I don't think women, I don't know. I don't I don't get it. I don't get it because how can just looking at somebody turn you on? I understand people could be cute, but beauty is subjective. What's cute to you may be ugly to me. You know what I mean? So, but I see the beauty in everything. Everyone is beautiful. I'm not calling nobody ugly, but you know what I mean. So yeah. So yet when it comes to men, that's where that's where the separation or the divide comes in when it comes to attraction. Men, they get horny just by seeing a girl's pretty face. They already imagine her. They see a pretty girl with a fat ass, they fucked her already in their mind before they even approach that woman. So that's the divide between women and men. I don't think women can look at people and say, "Oh, I want to fuck." I think women can look at a woman and see how beautiful she is. So I think we can do it, but I think we can do it with women. See, I can look at a beautiful woman and lust over her for sure, for sure. But a man, no. A man, you're lusting over me. I'm not lusting over a man unless I catch feelings for you, hun. So, anyway, as the re- as the relationship continues to evolve, both partners finally get to know each other. Routine sets in. If we want novelty, we must create it. A weekend in the country, new furniture, new fantasies, and we stop idolizing our partner. Once we do, love no longer triggers desire reliably because the rest of life interferes. Shit gets old. I remember in one of my past relationships, I was always, when I started liking this person, I was always horny for this person. I wanted to fuck all the time. I was dreaming about it. And when like we saw each other every day, it was like the desire, it went away day by day. And it was like to the point we would get into arguments like, I don't miss you. I see you all the time. I don't want to fuck. And so, like, it's totally understandable. So that's why I feel like if I ever decide to date again, we're not living together. It's not happening. I can't live with another human being. Can't no other human being live with me. I can't do it because my peace is everything and I'm willing to pay whatever for my peace. Some people be like, how can you not want to live with your partner and y'all could go 50-50 on the bills and everything could be less? My peace, I pay whatever for my peace. All that the difference, and I'm paying all the bills, I will pay all my own bills just to have the peace that I desire. So that shit ain't working over here, huh? That shit is not working over here. So sex becomes less frequent or more routine or both. When a relationship is new and the sex is exotic and enjoyable, the startup cost of each sexual encounter is low. We're not nervous about hearing no, and we're usually not nervous about hearing yes. But as sex becomes less frequent, we feel increasingly awkward. Starting up each sexual encounter becomes more complex, more time consuming, more fraught with anxiety. And I think this is because people get comfortable. People get comfortable. Like I feel like a lot of times in relationships, dudes, they just expect you to give the pussy up because they horny. They just expect you to just fuck because they're horny. They don't give a fuck about how you feeling, honey. Did you um what's the word I'm looking for? Did you stimulate me this yet today? Like what the fuck? Like my needs are important too. The next time we fuck, I want to have the big O. You gonna definitely have yours because you have it every time. But I want it every time too. I want it every time too. And that's the thing about when it comes to sex. That's why I like sex with women way better than I like sex with men because with a woman, you're gonna get the big O every time. You're gonna get the big O every time. A woman is gonna make sure you are pleasure. A woman is gonna make sure you are pleasure. So anyways, the hassle of initiating sex starts to outweigh the perceived advantage of having it. If a couple gets along, they have other they have other dependable ways to enjoy themselves. A walk, cooking together, watching TV, napping, photographing their kids, playing Scrabble. When a couple has limited free time together and they know they can reliably have fun doing other things, choosing to have sex that they imagine might involve self-consciousness, disappointment, criticism, and emotional distance is simply irrational. So, long term couples who like each other do the most obvious thing. They have sex less often and instead do other things they enjoy more easily. And I can see that. I think it is very important to do things together when you are in a relationship or when you have somebody. It's important to do certain things, go travel to the next city. And those things are very, very important to me. Like, I like to spend quality time like that. Where we going this weekend? You want to go up to Chicago? You want to, I like stuff like that. I like stuff like that. So, I know next year I'm traveling. I got a couple of places that I know for sure I'm going next year. I'm not sure the beginning of the year or towards March or whatever. I might be going to Mexico or Jamaica. I am so excited. So yeah, next year is all about traveling and seeing the world for me, for sure, for sure. Like I'm excited. I am so excited. So yeah, so like I said, it's important to find things that y'all like to do, cuz me personally, with my person, if I'm with somebody, I like to watch shows. I like to bond over traveling, just taking long drives, watching TV, watching Netflix, or binge watching a show that has 8,000 seasons. um I bond over food, just a lot of stuff. I do see that that's important, and that can, you know in a way that can take the place of sex. I don't need to have sex a lot. That stuff is fine enough for me. Like, I don't know. That's why I would tell people, like, anybody that I ever dealt with, let me come on to you. Cause if you come on to me and I'm not in the mood, honey, it's gonna be awkward and you're gonna be mad. You're gonna feel like you finna go cheat. You're gonna feel like I'm cheating. Honey, I just don't wanna fuck right now. I just don't wanna fuck. So just wait till I come on to you. So that's how sometimes I get down. Cause I'm really not I don't know. Unless I don't, yeah, anyway. See, when I get to doing that shit, I be talking too fucking much. I be talking too fucking much. Like, get the fuck out of my business. You and your partner want sex to be a part of your lives after the first few years, but can't rely on feeling hormonal lust. You can't rely on feeling overwhelmed by being in love, and you can't rely on feeling there's nothing better to do. The two of you have to do something fundamentally irrational, propose something that's less enjoyable and more emotionally expensive than practically any other leisure activity available. And what about the actual sex you are going to have when you get around to having it? Every one of us learns about sex when we have the body of a young person. By the time we're 30, virtually no one has that body anymore. In 40, you can look fantastic. You can have great style, that special something that will attract attention, but you no longer have the body you had when you were learning about sex. The body you have now behaves differently, doesn't it? Yes. The body that I have now, I'm not even gonna lie. It's like, I understand, like, when I was younger, I heard the older you get, the more you like sex. And that is so true. I start enjoying sex after I turned 30. That's when I had the most sex. That's when I had the most enjoyable sex. I used to think some shit was wrong with me, but honey, it's the man. If the man ain't doing it right, then honey, it's him. It's him, because your body will respond to if a man know what he's doing, your body will respond in the right way. It will respond the way it's supposed to respond. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. Cause the older I got, soon as I got in my 30s, that's when I would crave sex. Don't let me be dealing with somebody, cause honey, I need it. I need it now, and I need it in the next hour. You know. This goddamn table freak. Hold on. Okay. If you use your young adult vision of sex with your mature body, you're going to have trouble and your emotions will rebel. If sex means, for example, instant wetness, rock hard erection, pounding intercourse, and and simultaneous orgasm, you will feel anxious about failing. And that's another reason to not initiate sex or to not respond when your partner does. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. I remember one time, this was years ago. I was dealing with somebody, and um we were doing the do. We were getting ready to do the do, and I take his head and I push him down. Push him down. I tried to push him down. He got so offended and stopped the whole thing. Stopped the whole entire session. And so from that point forward, I was so insecure when it came to sex. I never recovered from that. I still suffer from that. So when I do have sex sometimes, I'm always in my fucking head. I'm always in my head. So that traumatized me for years. I'm literally just kind of now getting over that because, honey, it is what it is. If you ain't trying to go down, then goodbye. Good the fuck bye. Like back then back then I'm like, okay, never mind. You don't got to do it. Now, no. You ain't touching me unless you go down there. You're not touching me unless you go down there. You ain't touching me at all. And even if you do get to go down there, that's all you doing. That's all you're doing. There's nothing else you can give me besides your mouth. But anyway, on the other hand, if you put together a different vision of sex that is attuned to your current situation, a body with a few dings, a partner who isn't young, limitations of time and place, emotional scars, you'll be more willing to initiate since your chance of a satisfying encounter is much greater. That means you have to change a few of your ideas about the meaning of desire and arousal, of sexual function and dysfunction. In fact, you have to change the way you think about sex. Of course, changing your vision of sex can feel uncomfortable. If I if I were still young, I would have to change my vision. Or if I was still great in bed, I would have to change my vision. And so you have to come to terms with this necessity. If you do and you change your vision and you're willing to push yourself to participate and your expectations are different and you have a sense of humor and some humility, you might create something enjoyable. No wonder so many people don't. I agree with that 100%. I agree that it is true chemistry when you having sex with somebody and y'all can laugh during the intercourse. Y'all can when there's random moments of laughter. I think that the connection is there. I think it is a beautiful connection. I think you two are very very comfortable with each other. If you could laugh with each other, like you having sex, maybe somebody fart or you know y'all looking at each other and then y'all just bust out laughing. I think that is very healthy during intercourse. I truly believe that. I like this book. I like this book.